And we got nice clean hands underneath. I like that. Now, I'm going to put these in an oven and bake them about 350 degrees. So let's assume for a minute that I want to pre-prepare these for dinner at the house. I have people coming over for dinner. Or I'm feeding my family on a Tuesday night. Whatever the case might be. If you want to pre-prepare the tomatoes, we're going to bake them so that they're only 3/4 of the way cooked. Now these tomatoes, you don't want them to get soft and runny. They're very easy to cross over the line of cooking these too much because it's a soft vegetable the way it is, this tomato. And overcooking it even a little bit will make it mushy, if you will, and then it's kind of ruined. So still edible, but not as good as it could have been, and that's the important thing. So I'm going to pop these in the oven at 350 at a high temperature for a short period of time. I may go 375, 400, depending on the size of your oven and how many tomatoes you're cooking at the time. So we're going to go 400 degrees on these tomatoes because I want to pre-prepare them so that when it's time to actually serve the tomatoes, all I have to do is pop them in the oven, and the time that it takes to warm them up, it finishes the cooking process. So we're going to cook them about 3/4 of the way, which isn't very long, at 400 degrees, okay? Now, if I was going to serve these at the same time that I'm baking, your recipe calls for 350. That makes a little bit more sense to me, okay? Give them a little more time to brown, but we still need to cook the tomato a little bit. And remember, you don't need to cook the tomato too much. This tomato is edible just the way it is. The only exception to that rule would be is if you had tomatoes that weren't really ripe, which I don't recommend, but can happen from time to time, and you wanted to cover them up with the breadcrumbs and make them taste like something that they wouldn't normally taste like. This is the kind of preparation that you can do to a tomato like that and have it come out nice. So I'm going to throw these in the oven at 400 degrees. And we are going to time elapse this for probably about 15 minutes, give or take. And I'll tell you the exact time that these took when we come back. So I'll see you in about 10 or 15 minutes right now. Okay, about 15.
Remember you said I'll tell you the exact time. Or whatever.
Okay. Completing the tomatoes, the exact time I told you I would tell you, turns out to be about 15 minutes at 400 degrees, okay? And let me show you what we got right now because they're coming out now. Now look at those, aren't they pretty? Still got some texture left to the tomato. Now you have a little texture left to the tomato itself, plus the crust has some texture, and that's what makes this dish so good too. So we're just going to pick these. They're all done. There's nothing left to do to these. They're ready to serve just like that, and they are as tasty as they get. Look at that. That's how crusty the crust is. You see how I picked that up? Come on down there, Richard. Look at how crusty that is. You see that? How that popped right off of there. It's stuck together. It's so crusty. That's nice. And you want that little crispiness on the top of the tomato. This is a nice vegetable, and it's easy to serve if you're plating a meal. If you're plating a meal and you want to put maybe 2 vegetables on the plate, like this is a great item to serve with roasted meats and grilled meats and things like that because it's got that hearty food that can stand up to those big foods, you know. This is not something that you might necessarily serve with a piece of poached salmon. And you could, but it wouldn't be my first choice for that reason. The dish would end up seeming like tomatoes Provencal garnished with salmon because this is so much bigger than like a poached salmon might be. So there you have it. This is tomato Provencal. This is a very nice, as you saw, a very simple item. It's as vegetarian as it gets, and if you want to reduce the fat content a little bit in this, which you may want to, you just add a little bit of lettuce butter. Just because I like them to be really good packing before I put them on there doesn't mean you have to do it that way. It can be looser and still come out very good by using less butter or less Parmesan cheese, and maybe 1/3 Parmesan cheese and 2/3 breadcrumb is another way in which you can cut the fat down in this. Enjoy the tomato Provencal. If you make this item, I guarantee you're really going to like it. Have fun with it.